Hey, what's up everyone? It's Kenesha. Welcome back to my channel. I am here with a much requested review video comparing the Louis Vuitton Diane to Louis Vuitton's new release, the Samur BB. Typically, I talk about luxury, lifestyle, and mindset on my channel. So if you're into that, then I hope you stick around and stay tuned for more. Okay, so I just recently unboxed this new release, the Samur BB. I'm not going to get into all of the details that I went into on that unboxing. Go back and check that out if you haven't seen it already. That was the full review. What I wanted to do today was talk a little bit about the differences between these two bags, given that you guys were interested in my opinion on which of these I prefer, and I'll tell you at the end whether or not I plan to keep this baby or not. All right, so the first difference that you're going to notice between these two is it does appear that the Samur BB is just a tiny bit smaller than the Diane. Lengthwise, it's a tiny bit smaller. Height-wise, it looks to be a little bit smaller as well to the Diane. Width-wise, it's almost the same. The dimensions, and I'll put them here, the dimensions for the Samur BB is 7.3 inches across or 7.1 inches across, 6.3 inches in height, and 3 inches in depth. It doesn't even look like 6 inches in height to me. This one is about 6 inches in height, and I'll insert the dimensions for the Diane because I don't recall them off the bat. This one is about 8 inches across, 6 inches in height, and 3.5 inches in depth. The second thing that you'll notice in terms of the difference between these two is the Vachetta. I am a Vachetta lover. I love the look of it on Louis Vuitton. I believe that makes it classic Louis Vuitton when you pair it with the monogram flavor. That's the reason why you probably see a lot of the monogram bags with Vachetta on my channel. The difference between the Vachetta on these two is that the Diane is patinaed. They have pre-treated this baby for us versus the Samur BB is raw Vachetta. It is natural. They're both natural leathers, but when rain hits this bag versus when rain would hit a bag like this with this natural leather, you would notice the difference. The rain pattern would definitely fade away with the Diane. I've noticed that. If it doesn't, it just beads up and slides right off. I've done a little bit of a water test in the past. You can go and check out the water resistant video I did. Versus I would definitely be hesitant to take the Samur BB out without checking the weather first, just to make sure it's not going to rain. Others have remarked that they sprayed their bag with the Apple Guard protector. Louis Vuitton typically does not recommend doing that, but I have done that in the past. I'm not suggesting you go out and do that if you're looking for a Vachetta piece, but I am saying that you need to find a little bit more protection for a piece like this. If you're not going to spray it with Rain Guard, the other natural way to tan it would be to set it out in the window and make sure that you give it enough time over the next few days or weeks to let that patina process set in. The other trick that I've seen people do is they'll take like a wet white cloth or like a wet wipe, non-alcoholic, and they'll gently clean the entire bag. They'll wipe down the Vachetta. That will also help advance the patina process. That's not something I've ever done. I've never felt comfortable doing it. So I'm just sharing what I've seen others do, and it seems to have turned out really well. Now, the next feature that I want to point out is the front of these two babies. They have beautiful clasps on them. And for me, I really appreciate the look of the classic emblem from Louis Vuitton, a nice thick stamping from Louis Vuitton leather edition, as well as this buckle. This was previously the Salon in the past, and they just changed it to the Diane because the Salon in the past had a pocket in the front here that we did not receive with the Diane. Yes, Louis Vuitton, we're still bitter about that. Versus the Samur BB, it also has this beautiful emblem. Instead of it saying Louis Vuitton on it like this one does, you can barely even see it. It says Louis Vuitton Paris on the front. The buckle also has Louis Vuitton engraved on it. This one just says LV on the Vachetta, and then the LV, the Louis Vuitton engravement, is on the side of the buckle. So I really appreciate that detailing on the front of the bag. The next thing that I really like about both of these bags that they've modernized for us is that when you open up the clasp, it is a magnetic opening. I really love that Louis Vuitton gave us a magnetic opening for both of these bags. The opening for this one is a little bit different. The Samur BB has an indentation for its magnetic closure. It's still equally strong to me, but I think this one is actually a little bit stronger because when the button closes it actually seems to set inside. This is like an inset button closure that makes it snap really well. It's very solid, very hefty magnetic closure. So I have an appreciation for that. The next details is on the top of these babies. The Samur BB has this Vachetta trim that is attached to the lining of the bag through these buttons and these tabs. It's all sewn together, but that's the main difference from the top, that there's no decorative pattern on the Diane versus the Samur BB. Now, in my opinion, I don't mind that for my Diane, because what that means to me personally is if it rains, there's no chance of Vachetta being hit with the raindrops. You know, I'm not going to have to worry about covering it up and running around with it under my shoulder. That's just one less headache that you have to worry about. The other difference is you see with the Samur, we're getting into the details now. So the Samur, they're giving us this buckle on the side versus the Diane. We don't have a buckle. They're giving us these two D-rings on the side, right? We're getting a D-ring for the Samur BB and we're getting a D-ring for the Diane. Now you will see, and I'm gonna get closer because this is something I pointed out on the Diane that actually does bother me. The Diane tab is not sewn down to the bag versus the Samur BB, the tab is sewn down to the bag. Why do I point that out? Because when these tabs start lifting and flapping away, it gives me hives, it gives me ajna, it gives me anxiety. I don't like that. I'm always careful to not be lifting up the tabs and so it doesn't start flapping away, versus the Samur BB, you're just not even gonna have to deal with that. I don't know why they didn't just sew down the tabs on the side of the Diane, but that is definitely a bummer. The other thing that I really like about the Diane versus the Samur BB is the trim. On the Diane, this trim goes all the way around the bag, covers the corners. I really appreciate that. It's fabulous. Why? Because it protects the canvas from cracking. Did you not see the botched Ivy Walk video? Did you not see that? Go take a look. Go take a look at that. Go check that one out. That is a big no-no for me, Louis Vuitton. You almost got it right in that the leather trim is covering most of the canvas edge except for where it typically cracks. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's beautiful. The way that they have the tab here, all they had to do is continue the trim a little bit more, but I understand they probably couldn't do that because how would they close it off? That's what their designers are for. That's for them to figure out. The point is, we know what happens when there's no covered leather hitting this canvas over here, protecting it. It's gonna crack, right? You all with the Samur BB, you tell me how this bag wears over time. Maybe down the road, I will take into account whether or not there's any issues there, but I'm definitely interested in wear and tear happening on this baby in the next 6 months to a year, okay? The next detail I want to point out with the bags is that they both have a back pocket. Yes, Louis Vuitton. Good job, Louis Vuitton. That's us clapping. Good job on them. However, the difference is that the Diane will fully hold a phone, no problem, okay? The lining of the Diane is pink pavone. It also comes in black, in case you're wondering, and this bad boy also comes in print leather, so all versions are beautiful. The difference with the Samur BB back pocket is it's a little tight. You can get a phone in there with the cover. I have done it. However, I worry about that. It does give me pause for concern because when you're reaching in, it's got this Vachetta strip in the back. You're going to be touching and rubbing against whenever you're going back there to grab things and pull them out. That gives me cause for concern. Now, if you're not worried about Vachetta, you protracted it, you pre-treated it, you've done what you need to do, I think this is a beautiful bag. Some people are remarking that they feel like they wish that Louis Vuitton had made the Samur BB a little bit bigger. I can't help but agree with that. The reason for me saying that is because I do believe that the Diane fits a full wallet. It fits the mini pochette. It fits more SLGs in it to carry as an everyday bag than the Samur BB, which I believe could definitely be used as an essentials bag. You're going to be able to get a small wallet in there and a few more of your other essentials, but you're not going to be able to get the mini pochette in there, for example, with much else. The last thing I will remark on is the base of the bag. So you can clearly see that the Diane is a lot more sizable than the Samur BB. You can clearly see that, right? Now they're both 3 inches, like this is 3 inches and this is 3.5 inches on the Diane. So it's just a little bit more space. You can clearly see that there's a little bit of a division here in the bottom of the Samur BB. It's not great, so it's not going to give you that much width, but I can say that inside the gathering, if you try to flatten it out a little bit, you probably get that extra 1/2 inch that the Diane has. All right, so now that we're done talking a little bit about the outside of these 2 bags, let's go inside. All right, when you open up the bags, this is what the inside looks like. It does look like they're about 6 inches in height. Does appear to be similar height. Samur BB has this micro fiber lining versus the Diane has the twill lining inside, okay? Both bags come with 2 straps. Samur BB comes with this top handle strap that's a little bit padded, and it also comes with this beautiful adjustable long shoulder strap that can also act as a crossbody strap. Now the Diane comes with a nice shoulder strap. You can already start to see the difference in length is a little bit more lengthy. And then they gave us this beautiful jacquard strap that is non-adjustable. I'm going to say this. Let me say this right off the bat. I am not a fan of these straps. The reason for that is because they get dirty fast. Mine still looks in pristine condition. Why? Because I never use it. I much rather Louis Vuitton have given us a Vachetta strap pre-treated with the Diane. Why? Because it costs more money. Louis Vuitton, just want to smack them upside the head sometimes. Samur BB was, I think it's $2,080. And the Diane, I think when they released it, it was $2,200. And then they raised the price to $2,300, $70, I think. At the end of the day, this is a bigger bag, costs more money, but we don't have Vachetta straps, not an adjustable Vachetta strap. You know, and I think that is a drawback. I do believe that was a miss on Louis Vuitton's part. However, we are beyond that point now. And even with the Emprunt versions, I believe they're still giving the jacquard straps, which I felt like that could have been a definite upgrade on that new model because I think they're selling them for more money, like $2,500. I think that was a miss on Louis Vuitton's part. But when we talk about these straps, let me just show the difference. The jacquard strap is non-adjustable. All right, so I think this is about 21 inches, 20 inches, and you can wear it crossbody. With the adjustable strap, Vachetta strap for the Samur BB, it gives you a lot more length. And I have done mod shots in the past, so you'll have to go back and take a look at that on my unboxing video for the Samur BB. I do like that this strap is adjustable. It has 8 holes, which gives a lot of range for people, whether they're short or tall. And I did show what that looked like on me across different holes. And then I love the hefty buckle. It says Louis Vuitton on the sides, and then the clasps also say Louis Vuitton. So this just feels like it takes you back to your roots. And I think what they were trying to do with the Diane is just give it a little bit of a more modern twist, modern flavor for the new girlies coming into the brand. But the Samur BB is definitely what I would say a throwback that they tried to modernize. They just missed a couple of the different elements to make it a little bit better for this day and age, in my opinion. For the Samur BB, they could have pre-treated the leather, and for the Diane, they could have given us an adjustable strap. So I think like there were misses on both sides, and I have an appreciation for both bags for different reasons. Now, when we go inside of these 2 bags, the next thing you'll notice is that the Samur BB has no internal slip pocket, no zipper pocket, versus the Diane has an internal zip pocket. Now, if you ask me, that was a miss, a big miss for Louis Vuitton. They clearly could have added an inside slip pocket, zipper, something that would give us a little bit more for the money, but they didn't. They just gave us this microfiber lining, and I think it's beautiful and nice, but I definitely think it was a miss. I really like having an inside pocket on the Diane. I love having an outside pocket on the Diane. I just think that they could have added that extra oomph for us, and that was a miss. All in all, what do I think about these two beautiful bags? I think they're beautiful. Just a little bit missing from the Samur BB for my taste versus the Diane. I'm glad that I have the Diane still. I really like it. I love that we have these Vachetta corners. I think that's very classic Louis Vuitton. And I like the Vachetta trim that goes all the way around the bag, protecting the edges. I think that'll hold up well over time. And I like the fact that I don't have to functionally unbuckle this front clasp. I can just open it securely. And I like that it's got a pocket on the inside and a nice hefty pouch on the back to hold what I need. When we look at the straps, the short shoulder straps that they gave us for the Diane versus the Samur BB, what I like about the Samur BB strap is that it's a little bit more padded. I love the red classic glazing and the yellow stitching that Louis Vuitton gave us here. The clasps also say Louis Vuitton on them. Here's what I like about the Diane strap and what I don't like. I love that it's pre-treated. I love that they gave us a little bit more length, and the clasps also say Louis Vuitton. The underside of my Diane strap looks a little bit like it's got a little bit of wear to it from handling the leather. You can clearly see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got just a little bit of wrinkling to it. I think that would happen on this strap too once you start to wear it. Once you start to break it in, that's how it starts to adjust and starts to really mold to your shoulder, which I really like. I think it could have been padded a little bit more. I don't know if I like the fact that the glazing is a little bit more on the maroon side, a little bit darker, not that shiny red glaze. It does come with the yellow stitching, classic Louis Vuitton. It's not padded like the Samur BB. So it's just a nice thin flap strap, which is very comfortable on when you're wearing it. In fact, I typically like to use this strap to wear with my pochette accessoire or with other bags when I'm using it. All in all, I think that both bags are lovely. If you're interested in buying the Diane, you can't go wrong. I think if you're interested in buying the Samur BB, you just have a few precautions to think of, consider, to take into account as you wear this bag. But it's a beautiful classic Louis Vuitton bag. It's a throwback from the 90s. The Samur 30 was the bag that this was recreated from, and the Salon was the bag that the Diane was recreated from. So here we go again with Louis Vuitton going back into the archives to give us more of what we love, just a little bit of updated flavor. To some of the comments that said, I just wish it was a little bit bigger, I do agree with you. They could have made this a tad bit bigger, probably as big as the Diane. I think that would have been perfect. I think if they had pre-treated the leather, that would have been perfect. I do believe there may be issues down the road related to these corners cracking. So that is just my own observation. That is just my own opinion. I hope and pray it doesn't happen to any ladies' beautiful bags, but that's just my thought. And I am a little concerned about the raw Vachetta. Just even patina to me, I like the look of it. When I start to see splotches and things like that, it doesn't make me feel so good. I don't know. I'm not OCD, but I don't like the look of that. So I just wanted to put that out there because that is my opinion. At the end of the day, I am feeling like I'm going to be returning the Samur BB. This is probably the last time you'll see me talking about this bag in person, unless I'm just bringing it up in pictures to compare it to some of the other bags that I have. If you're interested in any of these bags, like I said, I think they're both gorgeous and you should go for it if that's what you want to do. And if you're with me to the end, then I really appreciate you for sticking around. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me what you think about this review, and I will catch you in the next one.